everyone, it's Rick. I'm just getting set up here. I got my gloves on. I'm going to do a cool uh, acrylic landscape today. I already mixed my colors, but I'll tell you what I'm using. Burnt umber, yellow ochre, Alzerian crimson. I put a little yellow in there to get orange. I might make some orange ochre. If you want to make orange ochre, uh, what you do, you take a little yellow ochre and like that, and put a little Alzerian crimson in it. And voila, you got orange ochre. It's good for highlighting maybe trees or something. I'm thinking of doing some big mountains with a couple big hills and some big trees coming from the side, big clouds, real simple. This is going to be a real simple one today. I mixed this is all Liquitex. It's the good heavy-bodied Liquitex brand. And I think I'm going to paint a little different today. So anybody can do this, okay? I'm not going to paint in any special way. But what I want to do today is first put the mountains in, believe it or not. And I'm going to use this gray I made. Payne's gray and white. I mixed it and got a little light gray here. And I'm using a filbert brush, a number 10. Okay, this is a 16 by 20. Let's get started. I'll put the design in first with the gray. So let's just do it like this. We're gonna have the mountains kind of low today. We'll start with a peak like right in the middle here, right in the center. Big peak. Maybe not so pointy. I'm using a little bit of flow aid, and then we'll add some peaks off to the side here. Then maybe getting smaller over here. This is real simple. This is just light gray. This way of painting is kind of cool. I'm going to make everything big so the painting doesn't take too long, okay? So there's my mountains. I'm going to grab a little titanium white and just lighten up the bottom of the mountains real quick, just to get maybe some ideas going here in the groundwork. And I do want some hills coming down, big hills, so I can put some water in there. So the only special paint I got in here today, I'm using this chrome oxide green, okay? And I actually put black in it, a little black, and look at that. It almost looks like sap green, doesn't it? And this is what it was originally. So I'm using a special green right now. So I'm just gonna wet my brush a little and grab some of this dark green. I still have some gray on my brush. Let's put a green hill in here with that green. You could use sap green here. Just put some black in it. Get a nice green hill there. Let's put another one on the other side. I'm dipping my brush in the flow aid a little bit, so my brush is a little wet. Let's put this hill coming just slightly lower than that one. Maybe down like this. We'll have some kind of valley coming through here. Grab a little titanium white and we'll lighten up this one edge on this hill, so it separates it from that other hill. Let's lighten up this hill in the back here. Just mix some white in the top of the hill. It's going to help it look further back. Just blend it in there. It also gives us some different values of green in there, okay? There we go. So we got a big mountain, some big hills in here. Let's put some blue back there. I'm going to rinse my water. And I'm using this blue, Phthalo Cyanin blue, okay? Phthalo blue, it's really dark. Look at that. I had to mix it twice. I put white in it and it was still like too bright. So I put a little more white in it. Let's put some water down here below the mountain here. I don't know what how it's going to turn out, but let's just put some water in here. The way I'm painting, anybody can do this, okay? There's no special rhyme or reason to this type of painting. There's no special order, just doing it like this. Now let's do the sky. Let's put some blue up there first. What I'm going to do is put some blue right in the middle here. Look at that blue. Maybe all the way up. And then I'm going to put some clouds coming from the sides. So let's grab a little bit of white now. Don't even rinse your brush off. Let's pull some white in from the side. Just like that. Let's do the other side the same way. Titanium white. I'll try and get things to mix here in a second. Let's get the white in there. I want to have like a blue spot in the middle. That's what I'm going for. We'll bring some of this white in just a bit. Like that. Let's make all this down here very light blue. I'm going to grab a little white and just bring a light white color down to the mountains. There's still blue on my brush. That's okay. Just paint really loose and fast. You don't have to be perfect right now. Just laying down the undercoat. This is pretty much the underpaint of the painting. You don't have to put it on heavy, or you can. I'm pretty much going to use this brush for the whole painting. Well, I lied. I might use a knife to put snow on the mountains there. But all right, there's my blue spot right in the middle. I kind of like that. Let's try a little gray right now. I got a little gray here. Let's just try a little, see what happens. Not too much. Just on maybe the top corners. Just a little gray. A little more in some streaks of it here. Just some streaks of gray. Don't fill it in too much. And maybe a few streaks down here. All right, that's good. That's good for now. Looks pretty good. Oh, what is this? Running water? It's weird. Let's rinse the brush off and let's lighten up the back of our water there. How we do that, let me grab my rag here. I'm going to keep a rag over here so I can so you can dab your brush on it to dry it off. This technique is, it's kind of a wet brush, but sometimes you don't want to wet it. You don't want the water to be too much on the brush, so I got the rag there to dab it on there to dry it off. So I want to try a little white back here. Here's a good tip. If you forget to do it, say you forget to lighten that up, you can grab the original blue that you put that on there with, because it's dry already. And you can run a little blue in the back there. And now grab your white, because it's wet now, and we can mix the white in there while it's wet. Okay. Like that. I like to lighten up the back part of the water. And the green, I like to lighten up the green hill. Let's make some hills here. I'll show you how to do that. Rinse your brush off. Get a little bit of white on the tip of your brush. Just a little bit. And let's create a few hills here with the white. Just kind of, we'll make a hill here, and we'll make one here, and of course that one up top there. Now take that white and blend it into the green, just at the top part there. Blend it in. Blend it in with your brush. It'll create some hills there. Run a little white. A little more white on this hill back here to define it. Good enough. I'm going to have trees up there. coming down. So down here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another hill here, and maybe just bring this straight down here. So I'm going to use a lighter green here, or a darker. Let's go crazy. Let's try the orange. I made that orange ochre. Let's try it out. See what it looks like. We'll put some orange ochre down here. Just put the paint on real loose like this. It doesn't have to be heavy. Just trying to get some underpaint down there. Let's try a yellow ochre over here. Yellow ochre. Wet your brush just a little, and we'll block this in with yellow ochre. Just like that. Looks pretty cool. Look at that. Wow. I kind of like that. I like that color, this orange ochre. Doesn't that look cool? Wow, that looks like a cool scene already. Going off back here to the water, to the mountains. There's the scene right there. Bam, we're done with the underpaint. I call that the underpaint. Now we're going to design some trees and put snow up there and some more clouds. It's going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. I can really tell. Let me get my fan brush. Let's run a tree up there right now and see what it looks like. Let's run some bushes first. Let's put some, we should do the snow first. Or we can leave the mountains gray if you want to make it easier. But let's put the snow on after we put everything in, and I'll show you there. You don't have to really do things in order. It'll be a little difficult, but it still works. So, all right. So what I want is some trees on this hill here. And see how I designed this hill to make it 3 of them? So this one here, I see another hill coming kind of like this. So what I'm going to do is run some trees. I'm going to put some dark color on my fan brush. And I'm going to have the trees come here to the top of the hill and then down. And bring them up just a little over here. Just like that. Leave the back of that hill there. Now take your brush and we'll pull a little bit of that color to the left at the bottom. Just pull it to the left. And what we're going to do now, we'll pull up. Use the corner of the brush. Have to put some paint on there. And let's pull up some treetops here. Really small because I don't want to cover up my water. But I want it to look like evergreen trees. Put a little white, rinse your brush off. That's kind of a sloppy job, but that's okay. Watch what happens now. I'm going to put a little white on my fan brush, just a little, and I'm going to pick out the bottom of my trees with this white, where I want the bottom to be. And it's going to lighten up the bottom of the trees so they show up. See that? Now you can see the bottom of the trees. This is pretty sloppy work here, but you could come in here and make it look better if you want. You can use a filbert brush or something. But a lot of this is going to get covered, so let's put some more trees over here on this hill here. Really small. I'm just going to put some color up here like this, and then pull it to the right, just at the bottom, just a little. I'm going to go fast. Those will be trees up there. Let's get some more. I got another hill here. We'll put more trees on this hill. Getting a little closer, so I'm going to make them a little bigger. And then this hill here. Load up your brush again, and we'll have some big trees right here on this hill. So what I'm going to do now is get a little white on my brush again, the fan brush, and I'm going to pick out the bottom of my trees again with this titanium white. Wet your brush a little. I'm kind of going fast, but because it'll look good, but I also want to make it look like it's I'm not trying too hard. You know what I mean? There we go. So trying to get it to look like 3 sections of trees here. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm going to extend this one here just a little. I'm going to get some more dark paint on my fan brush and round this one off a little better. Make it a little bigger. Just like that. Pull that color back. When I highlight it, you'll see it much better. Let's lighten up. Get a little more white on your fan brush, and if we lighten up these other trees a little more, they'll show up a little better, just at the bottom. All right, there we go. Got to blend it in though. Blend it in. All right, let's move on. I'm going to put some trees right on the edge of this golden color. I mean bushes, because I really like this color here. So what I'm going to do is just put some bushes, maybe leave some of the golden color right here, and pull the bottom to the right, the bottom of your bushes. just a little bit out. Let it mix with that golden color there. Grab a little titanium white and just edge the bottom of the bushes with that white. Just like that. That looks good. Let's put some bushes over here, same way. This is that chromium green. I mean, it's working okay, but I think I should have used sap green instead. But you could see I'm working fast. Little titanium white. Trying to mix some of the paint too while it's wet, like wet on wet. I like this red, so I want to leave some of that red color in the painting. There we go. There's all the bushes. Now we can run some big trees here. We're going to use this fan brush. I'm going to get kind of loose with my trees, okay? Let's run a big tree over here first, all the way into the sky. Let me make sure I'm rolling. Yep, 26 minutes. Let's make a tree here. I loaded up my brush with this color. I want to come down right in the middle and just press in the middle and stay small as you can. And let's make this one of those tall, skinny evergreen trees, the ones in California that are like 200 feet tall. So all you do is stay on your trunk and just press in, okay? Just stay on your trunk and press in. Get your branches to come straight out, just like that. Now let's adjust our branches on the side. To even it up with the top part. Wiggle your brush and your paint like this to get your corners back. Just extending the edge now so it looks like a Christmas tree, kind of. There we go. Wow, doesn't that look cool? It's going to look awesome when I highlight it. So over on this side, we're going to do the same thing, a different style tree. I'm going to put a little more black in it. Just a little more black. And let's do a tree over here, a little taller, right in between these two peaks, down to these bushes. Load your brush up, and I'm going to do a different style tree. I'm going to come down kind of fast and turn my brush as I come down and just press. Wet your brush a little for this style tree. Come down fast and just extend your branches out. Adjust your tree the way you want it. I'll put another branch down here that's long. Trying not to cover that red. I really like that red color there. There we go. That looks good. That looks really good. I'm going to keep it where we could see these trees on the side. So I'm going to put another small one here. Just a small one. Right next to that big one though. So it has like a little baby there or something. Let's do another one a little smaller. I recommend, if you're new to painting, just to put in as many trees as you want. It's good practice, okay? And plus, it looks better if you got more stuff in your painting, okay? It just looks better if it's full. Let's make these bushes look cool. I'm going to highlight all this stuff now. That's about all I want in there. Let's highlight all this stuff now, and it's going to look really cool. Kind of lost the idea of this hill here. But that's all right. I'll highlight these. It'll look cool. We'll make these look like little trees down there. Let's highlight this big one first. So what we're going to do, we're going to highlight it with this same dark color. Let's just add some white to it. So I'm going to grab a little white with my fan brush and just mix it into that dark color. We're going to get a grayish green color. And we're going to use it to highlight this tree. I'm going to come down on the right side, and what you're going to do is touch very gently on the right side of the tree. Really small touches. Really small. Come down just on the right side. Just like that. Let's do these here same way. Our light's going to be coming from the right, so that's why I'm just putting this on the right side. It's not a detailed painting, so you can just kind of throw the color on there, but make sure you tap very lightly so you get more branches. You can still make it look like branches by touching very softly. Let the paint lay on top of the tree. Let's add a little more white to that color for this big tree, so the highlights look a little different. So now let's come down and just try and hit the top part of these branches. Just tapping with a lot of taps on the branches, on the top part of the branches. Stand back and look at it if you need to. We can run a little bit of this color on the other side on a few branches. Also, you can put some more in the middle here, but just tap with the corner of the brush. It makes it look like a lot of branches in there, okay? Look at that. You can use a brighter green if you want. I just like the way it looks when it's dark like that. I like my trees dark. I'll make these lighter. let's mix a little bit of, check this out. Check this out now. We're going to make these bushes really light green. So let's take a little bit of that green. You could use any green you got. This happens to be chromium green. I just wanted to use it up. And we're going to mix a little yellow in there to make it a light green. Guess what? We're going to split it up. We're going to have some of it that color. We're going to split it up and put a little white in it now. Make it even lighter. Going to have two different color greens. And we're going to lighten up this orange ochre I made. Or just add that green to it. It's fine. So we're going to use this to highlight this, that, and let's do it. Let's grab the fan brush. Now this is the fun part. This is the part where you get to pick out your bushes in here. I'm going to show you a cool trick. Let me, oh good. So you see how I got all this dark color down here? All this can be bushes down here. So I'm going to show you how to pick out your bushes in here. Let's start with the light green here. Just get a little color on your fan brush with that light green. And I'm going to make a bush right here first. And I'm going to tap ever so gently. I'll make a round bush there, just to start off. See it? Now what I'm going to do, I'll probably change color there. So I'm going to run some lower bushes here. Tap ever so lightly. And kind of pick out your bushes. 1, 2, 3. See that? These are lower bushes. Let's make this up here. We'll use that, wipe your brush off. You don't have to rinse it off. Just wipe it and grab some more of that. Let's grab some of the darker green now. And let's make a bush right behind those. Right underneath the evergreen trees there. We'll make these bushes down here with this green. I'm going to make them big so you can see how easy it is. Let's get some orange ochre now. Let me make this one green over here on top. Just a bush on the side there. You see that? I'm leaving some of the dark color in there. Rinse your brush off. We're going to grab some of that orange ochre now. Dry your brush off and let's fill the brush up with this orange ochre. Same thing. Let's tap in some bushes here. Really small taps. There we got an orange bush there. I see a bush back here in the corner here. Just like that. You just got to tap it softly. This isn't the best brush to make bushes with. I have a stencil brush that works great for bushes. See this thing? You can, I'll use it on the trees down there. I'll show you. But this is okay, like if you're making longer bushes like this. Let me grab some of this other orange ochre. It's a little darker. Let's see if I can get a darker look in here somewhere. Maybe right here. I think that's enough bushes down there. We'll put a small one here. Next to the green. That's enough. We'll put a few flowers down in here. Let's highlight these back here now. I'm going to get the stencil brush. Highlighting's fun. Once you get the hang of it, you're going to really like it. Because you're going to want to make bushes everywhere, you know. This ain't done either. You can put another color on top of this green, either darker or lighter, to give it some more tone. Okay, that's why I like to leave the dark color showing underneath, so you get at least two colors on there. Let's make these trees here. A lot of times you don't see them here, so I'm going to have to, what I'm going to do is pick out my trees here. I'll use this light green. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where I see the trees first, and then I'll try it. I'm going to pick out the edges of it. So I'm going to have a tree here. Then one here, maybe one back there, just like that. And then up here, I have a tree there. Obviously, you can see where these trees would be here. Just putting a little highlight on them. These back here, you could take your highlight brush and just pull up color on those evergreen trees. Very gently. Now I'm going to add a darker color to that. I'm going to dip into the dark green now. Or what? It's a darker green. And put a little bit of more value in those trees, so it just doesn't look like the same light green. Let's make one, let's put some orange ochre on one. I wiped my brush off. I got some orange. Let's turn one of those to like fall colors. Let's do another one. Might look better with orange in it. There we go. That looks good. Alright guys, let me see where I am on time. 44 minutes. Wow. Let's put some snow on the mountains. I'm going to use white, and I'm going to just get a little roll on there. Let's design some mountains here. So this peak is kind of steep here. What I'm going to do first is come down with some white down the side of the peak to establish the one side. Same thing over here. Just bring a little white down just to establish the peak, and then I'll design them a little better once I get the right edge with snow on it. I'll just put a little over here. Yeah, see, it'll work. You can work around your trees. Look at that. Let's mix a little blue. For our shady side. I'm going to take a little bit of this blue here and mix the white with it. A very light blue. It's going to look good for the shadow side of the mountain. All right, so everywhere you have white, let's put a little bit of this blue. When you got a little area down here, don't cover the white. Just fill it in. Fill in the gray sections with this blue, okay? You might have to turn to your small side of the knife on some of the sections. I'm going to have to use the small side pretty much the rest of these. This is cool. You don't have to cover everything either. Leave some of that gray. Leave some of the gray in there. Sometimes this type of painting's better when you paint around your tree like this. It just looks awesome, like you didn't layer this on top of color, okay? I forget what kind of style this is called, but this is a good way to paint. You don't have to layer everything like like the people that paint like Bob Ross. He'll do his sky, then the water, and then he'll put the mountains on top of all that. There's a lot of different styles, so you do the style that works for you. Okay. I like this style where you paint around, where you have to paint around, like, I don't want to get too close to my tree here, but if I hit it, that's okay. Both of these trees, it just, it just looks cool. I don't know what to say, but just try this style out. If you like it, then you can use it. I do a lot of different ways. A lot of different techniques painting. All right, I like that. That looks good. I'm going to put a white line on the back edge of my water with the knife. Just get a roll of white on your knife, and we're going to put a white line back there. Back side of the water. Now let's put a little more on your knife, and we'll put a few more lines coming forward in the water. It'll look like waves, okay? All right, this is looking pretty good. I really like it. I'm gonna try something with a soft filbert brush. This is a soft filbert brush. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna put a little white on it, just a little titanium white. I'm gonna try something and see if this works with what I have up there already. It might not work. But we'll see. Might be too tedious work because it already looks like I got clouds up here, you know. Let's see what that looks like. Wow. I mean, it could end up working, but I mean, it'd be a lot of work to. Something different. I'm gonna wet my brush. I'm gonna wet my brush now and push it in a little more. I might have to leave it now because they're drying. They're drying on me. See how fast that paint dries? All right. Well, I was just trying something different there. Uh, I'm trying to see in the sky where I could put some clouds, but I want to do them like the easy way. I don't want to spend the next 30 minutes making. I mean, I can make some cool clouds, but I want to try and make some that are easy. Let me put some clouds around the mountains. I like doing that. So now you just got to load your brush up. Just load your brush up with white, and let's come right up next to the mountain and pull the color up. Titanium white. And pull it up a little, and then take your brush up here and kind of round the top off a little bit before it dries. It'll look cool. Let's go over here, follow your the edge of your mountain, pull that white up, and before it dries you gotta round the top a little, make it look like a round cloud, just like that. We'll keep coming down the mountain. Round off the top. Over here, you can make this one small over here. I did a painting where I actually went around the tree the same way. It looked pretty cool. But I didn't like it because the tree's up closer here. So you don't really want to put that cloud around the mountain or the tree. It did look cool though, but it just didn't look right. So if you're a beginner painter, you're not good at clouds yet, this is a good thing to do, is put clouds right above your mountain, just like that. It really looks cool. And you can actually make them a little grayer so they stand out a little more. But I think this is going to end up soaking into the blue a little bit, and it'll change some color. This looking pretty good. Wow. All right, I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix this here. I'm getting a larger filbert brush, a number 10, soft. And we're going to make some cool clouds here. Let's wet the brush a little. I got a little flow aid here. I'm going to grab some white on this soft filbert brush. Load it up with some white. What I'm gonna do is design the top part of the cloud. I'm gonna start here on this cloud that I kind of started. I'm gonna start here and push in the top part of my cloud. Design it and go up all the way to the side. I'm going to start bringing it down just a bit with my brush. Make the cloud just a little bigger. Just like that. Now wipe your brush off. You got to get it dry now. And at the bottom of your cloud, just at the bottom, pull it to the right. Just at the bottom. get it to blend in a little bit. Just like that. I kind of wet that a little too much, but that's all right. Shape the bottom by pulling it. It's going to help create like a shadow underneath the cloud. Trying to dry it. I put too much water on my brush. This far into the painting, you don't need that much water anymore. I shouldn't have wet it. Let's do a cloud this way. Let's just grab some paint. And you don't need much water anymore. We got all our underpaint done already. We want these clouds to be a little heavy on the paint. Okay, let's pull this one to the left. There we go. Wow, I'm going to end up having to put clouds everywhere. Unbelievable. That's all right. That's all right. I'm trying to cover up all these mistakes I made. Let's see where I can do I think up here what I'm going to do, I'm just going to brighten up this area here a little bit, like this. See if that ends up working. And get a little gray, touch of gray, very light gray. Huh. I thought that was going to work, but it's not going to work, so we're going to round the edge off here. I'm losing my blue. I'm losing my blue sky. See what I mean? You can go overboard on your clouds. But here's a good thing. I'm gonna start cover that up there with blue. If you ever make a mistake on your sky, you can start over, okay, like this. Now, if you're not liking what's going on, just blue it out again, like this. This is a good tip. I've done this before with some paintings that I did live, and then I put the painting on the community page with a different sky because I didn't like the way I did the clouds. So you blew out your sky again. These I like. I like these clouds down here. I like those. The clouds around the mountains, I'm trying to let that dry a bit before I cover it. So there, I had to cover up the sky because I didn't like I didn't like my clouds. So there we go. I'll start over. There you go. There's a good tip for you right there. How do you like that? Isn't that cool? Peggy, I see I am someone. How's it going? Did you see that? How I just got rid of those clouds in a second? You know why I did that, right? Because look at this artwork down here. This looks amazing. And I didn't want to have a terrible looking sky up there. Clouds, sometimes they're difficult. You got to know which style to put in with the painting. And I'm not sure what style I want to use here. I really don't. So I'm going to start with some small ones. Maybe I'm going to put streakers in here. Let me define these a little more. I really like these down here. What I'm doing here is just putting a little white on the tops, and I'm hoping that it'll look like a shadow underneath, just on the top part, just to brighten up the top part of the cloud. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a few small clouds in here, make it simple. Okay, that way I don't spend too much time. There's a lot of blue. There's a lot of blue I just laid down, so it's going to want to mix with the blue a little bit. But that's okay. Because when these dry, I'll put a little more white on top, and then it'll look good. Wow. I'm kind of doing the same thing I did before. Clouds are tricky. Put a big cloud there. All right, that's enough clouds. I got to let these dry for a little bit so I can highlight the tops. Looks pretty good though. Let me see, where did I start? These should be dry enough down here. Yeah. All right, guys. I think I'm done. I'll have to work on the sky a bit. And you'll have to see how it comes out on the community page. I'm going to try and lighten up the tops of these. It's getting there. Overall, it looks pretty good. Overall, I kind of like it. Put a few birds here. Put one down low here. He's flying above the water there. What do you think of this one? I kind of I like everything down here. I just got to get those clouds to look good. But man, look at the work on the bushes and everything down there. Looks good. Wow. I really like it. I like the trees. I like the bushes. I like the color of this red I put down here. Look at that reddish color. It looks awesome. With the yellow ochre. We got water back here. We got nice shade on our mountains. We got highlights on our trees here. The bushes look like they're all separated. I could put twigs down here. I forgot. If you end up doing bushes like this, just get your highliner brush and with a little white on it, and run up twigs underneath. Make sure you wet your brush pretty good. Get the paint to flow like ink. I know I always say that, but I never know if someone new is watching. You could put indications that there's like twigs underneath those bushes. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm glad you liked it. I'm actually off tomorrow, but I'm going to go meet someone for breakfast. They're going to at about 8 o'clock in the morning. But I'll probably do a morning painting tomorrow. Look at that. All right, have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon. Ciao.